I'm Jarle, and today I'm going to tell you a folk tale. The man who thought he was the richest in the world. Once upon a time, there was a man named Samei who was so wealthy that he decided to travel the world to show us his fortune to him. He commanded his trusted men to prepare his ship. They packed a lot of food, elegant clothes, gold, silver, jewelry, emerald, and bag of coin. On the ship there were many rooms, a kitchen, a large room with gold chairs, bath in the finest store in his country. There were crystal lamps that shined more than any emeralds. When everything was ready and the man was comfortable, he decided to start his journey. His family asking him to take a companion, but the man with an arrogant attitude refused and only asked him to go with his driver. The man traveled through many countries less rich than him. Everyone looked at the man in amazement and he felt proud, thinking that he was the richest man in the world. 3 days later, the boat began to fail and the driver warned Samei not to continue with the trip. But the angry man wanted to continue showing off his fortune, so he took the driver up of the boat and started driving it.
2 days later, the man realized that there were no houses, no people who admired him. He looked ahead, but he only saw the giant sea. It took many days, until the man reached the store of a beach under the boat, and when he looked around him, he couldn't help but make a disgusted face. It was a fishing town. There were some old houses and many fishing nets. He did not finish approaching when many dogs came to attack him and tore his elegant suit. Get away, the man shouted at the attack, but the dog didn't stop. When the woman arrived with a portion of meat in her hands and gave it to the dog so that they would leave the man alone. Sir, it's fine, said the woman. The angry man did not answer. Your dog is crazy. The dog is the most cannibal I've ever seen.
The woman offered the man to take him to her house to lend her clothes, but he saw that she had a yellow straw hat and she wore brown bracket and tall shoes. And she said, in my country there are women rich than you. I am better. Yes, there are cleaner. House that is, and my fortune is the most admirable. So I am not going where you the man start walking, but to the Shiba he freeze. When he realized that he have some I look for his bob everywhere, but I cannot find. If I look for the sea, but how the swing. The man began to cry. When he was lost, he looked for the woman to the hill. But she was there. He sat on the ground, thinking that he was the poorest man in the world.